Good morning everybody. So with today's video, let's talk about Givenchy Society Eau de Parfum Ambrée. Some of y'all are going to say, I have never heard of Parfum. What is that? That's just how we pronounce things here in Canada. I am Francophone, I am French Canadian. We made the language our own, so it's not the correct Parisian. So that's number one. Number two, Canada, elbows up. Gotta state that, gotta show my pride, and I gotta show my patriotism. This fragrance though, when I hear of Ambrée, I'm thinking of amber. When I smell it from my arm, I'm getting this ambery vibe. Amber is not a listed note, including this roasted black coffee that I get off my skin. That's also not a listed note. On Fragrantica and Parfum, they have relatively the same note breakdown. Parfum's got way more listed, but what I personally get is that I do get this amber feel. I get vanilla, I get Orris, I get Vetiver, I get Narcissus, and I do get this roasted black coffee. Now the note breakdown from Fragrantica, we're just gonna stick with that. Top note's gonna be nutmeg, juniper berries, along with Clary sage. The mid is gonna be Narcissus, Madagascar Vetiver, Haitian Vetiver, along with Orris and Sandalwood. The base is gonna be tobacco, Madagascar vanilla, and Peru balsam. So I do get a lot of those. I don't get the Clary sage, maybe a little bit of the nutmeg, but the main takeaway for me is going to be this tobacco amber feel with the vanilla, this nice powdery Orris or Iris, and this Narcissus and Vetiver. It's a great fragrance. This does have some similarities to this. Now this is going to be last year's release. I don't have the original Society. I just don't need. I will also state this. If you have this and you don't have this, you don't need this. If you have this and you don't have this one here, you don't need this one. There are definitely some similarities. I just feel like this one here is this with amber and more tobacco. That's my nose. I am sorry if my nose is maybe broken or my opinion is completely different than yours, but that's what I get. A nice creamy vanilla. The sandalwood, the vetiver without question. The vetiver I would say is like the main earthy woodiness, but the Orris adds this powdery gentility vibe to it, and it's kind of like the Givenchy's main note, what they're known for, whether it's Orris or Iris. They have it in pretty much, not all, but pretty much the majority of their fragrance, and it's kind of like their signature note. A lot of these fragrances, they're gentleman-like, and that's what a lot of their fragrances are. They're very gentleman-like. But you are gonna get like this nice creamy vanilla. You might get this amber, you might get this roasted black coffee. I might be alone, I may not be. But in the opening, you might get a little bit of that nutmeg. I find that the nutmeg, if it's there, it's very short-lived. I don't get the Clary sage, and I don't get the juniper berries. I just don't. The French Narcissus, from what I remember, is in all of these Society fragrances. This is long-lasting. Like, I get over 10 hours, like 10 to 14 hours. I am not making this up. This is a heavy hitter. Less is more. This is a gentleman's fragrance. When I wear this, I gotta wear something more than this, okay? This is just, I'm showing my pride, my patriotism. I have to dress up to really pull this one off. It's such a gentleman fragrance that Givenchy really, they just stuck to what they do best, these gently fragrances. And because that this is a gentleman's fragrance, you have to watch your applications. As I stated, performance longevity is crazy. You're gonna get at least 8 hours. At least. Me, again, 10 to 14. Even like when I showered after 10 hours, it was still there. It's a very concentrated scent. Maybe that's the ambrée aspect. I don't know. So ideally, I would say 3 to 4 sprays. Yes, you are probably going to be part of the Sissy Spray Squad. I am proud to say that I'm part of that. I'm just reasonable. I'm not a dickhead with my applications. I can't be a dickhead, but just not with the applications. With something like this, 3 to 4, I have done 6, and it can be a little powering. I'm just letting you know. This is fall or autumn, depending on what part of the world that you live in. Some places will use either or name any winter fragrance. This is very versatile, dressing it down, sense of style. Again, not like this. When I wore it, I pretty much just wore it to work, except for yesterday. It's Sunday today, but I work in blue collar. This lasted the entire shift. Even when I did overtime, it lasted the entire shift. But this is like business casual, suit and tie, and as well a tuxedo. Again, it's just a very versatile signature scent that's very gentleman. If you got this, you don't need this. And if you got this, you don't need this. They are expensive. Like even this, you're probably looking to spend about $100 to $120 Canadian, like discounters. It's not worth to have both. I have both because I use a gift card that my wife gave me, and unfortunately the Hudson's Bay is closing down across the street. I think they're keeping 6 locations out of the 80 throughout Canada. So I got to use my cards, and today is the cutoff. So I bought this earlier in the week. I gave it a full week's wearing, and including I got a first impression video with Chad and Rush that unfortunately didn't turn out, but I'm glad I got this. But again, you don't need both. This is a fragrance that, even though that I got last year's release, I'm glad I got in my collection. It's a fantastic smelling fragrance, and out of all the new releases that I smelled so far, this is one of the few that are bottle worthy. The other one is Ambrée. I did that with Chad Secrets, but I don't need any more fragrances in my collection. I got 2 bags that I'm looking at. They're all cheapies. There are about 70 bottles in those 2 bags combined. I'm decluttering my collection. This is one that I'm most certainly going to keep because even though that I chose it, my wife ended up getting me this fragrance with that gift card. So I'm not going to get rid of this whatsoever. I might get rid of this one eventually because I bought this with my own money, but this one here, I'm definitely going to keep. And if I were to give a rating for this one here, I would have to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Really, it's a masterpiece, even though it's nothing new. It's been there, done that, but it smells fantastic. It's long lasting, and it's very versatile. The only downfall that would give it like that 9.5 is the price tag. Even when this hits discounters, even in like 2-3 years from now, this is still going to be expensive. This is not going to be like $60, $70. I can't see it. It's Givenchy. Givenchy is like an upper tier brand when it comes to designers. Dior is #1, but this is definitely like top 5 in my opinion. That's it for Givenchy Society Eau de Parfum. If you like this very video, please drop me one of these. It does show YouTube and the algorithms that you like this type of content. Any other videos that I've done from this brand, they will all be in the description box below. If you want to see a smell and rate that I did with my wife many years ago, check out right here. And if you want to see a top 5, might have been a top 10 Givenchy, check out right here. I think of a time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.